Live. Live. Welcome to Catch of the Day.
I'm Dan Roberts, Deputy Head at Devonport High School for Boys.
I'm Ben Forte. I'm the Director of Learning Commons.
And we're just, what is the catch of the day today?
Today's catch is pollock.
And as you can see, we're enjoying a nice bit of pollock. I have mushy peas and some tartar sauce.
I wasn't allowed mushy peas because Mr. Roberts ate them all.
You can have some next week.
Yeah.
So we're just trying out a live broadcast really using Google Hangout, and just trying it out and see what happens. We've shared the link via Twitter, see if anybody else, maybe everybody else in the world of education is busy working and not sat having lunch and things like that. So we're hoping some people are around to join us and perhaps tweet and develop a conversation. But yeah, so last night we had a teach meet actually, and one of the things that we were using, it's the first time we've, one of the teach meets we've posted here that we've actually, we actually used Google Hangout, and I think it's the first time we've really used it for anything like that. And I think the advantages or the things that were particularly good about that were that the best bit for me is that it automatically then archives to YouTube. So I had some messages from people who'd been there in the evening and actually watched those presentations, but already since watched them back again. So gone back to that link, and we've not had to do anything about that. It just automatically archives.
It's really good because I couldn't actually make it to last night's one, but then I could watch it from at home anyway, so it was really good. Good being able to have that extra facility because quite often people can't make it, they do want to come along still, so it's good to have that. Yeah,
exactly. So looks like we have maybe some people tuning in and listening, so that's good. So other things, some of the presentations at the Teach Meet last night were interesting. We had one by Dan Shahin, who actually went through and did an interactive fiction or interactive storytelling and presented one of them live. What was the tool?
It was Inkle Writer.
Yes, he was using Inkle Writer.
You can look on the DHSB teaching blog. Dan's written a blog post about Inkle Writer on there, so that's, if you want to learn more about that, it's quite a good little interactive tutorial on how to learn how to use Inkle Writer. Got a few lessons starting to use it now as well. We're using it, a story of the life of the Roman, where you can make the choices throughout the day as to, do I go to the Roman baths now, or do I go out for battle? Yeah, so the other one I liked last night was actually Mel Denning did a talk about the computing curriculum and stuff like that, and that's quite interesting. She's adding that. I think she's like one of the lead.
That's right.
What's they call it? It's like
BCS.
Yeah, BCS. She's leading the lead school for that, I think.
Yeah, no, that was good. She was able to share some resources, which was great. So yeah, I mean, so at the moment, Google Hangout is looking good to live stream and record these things, and we're trying this now for Catch of the Day, and we'll, hopefully this is, it's a good experiment. We'll see whether we'll be doing it next week, whether we'll be having fish and chips with you next week.
Yeah.
So what sort of things, we talk about, like more Edtech stuff, what sort of things have you been looking at?
I thought we could talk about, like, this week's been actually, like, it's quite a lucky week. It's been a good week for technology announcements and stuff. We've had, like, Apple, I know the watch was already announced before. They've actually released dates and pricing and stuff, so people can get involved with that now. So we're interested to see whether any education establishments think that they might want to pick up on Apple Watch with using it with iPads or anything like that. I think.
What is it?
So the Apple Watch is going to give you additional functionality to work well with your iPhone. Not a plug for iPhone. But if you've got an iPhone, and it is literally an iPhone, that's all you can use it with, I think, at the moment. I think it's very limited if you don't have an iPhone. I don't think you can use it at all, to be honest. I think the actual setup process is done with an iPhone. But with that, you can then use it for your sports tracking. So at the moment, I wear the Fitbit and track how many steps I do every day. I'm obsessed with tracking numbers and statistics on everything. But the Apple Watch will do the similar sort of things. They're counting your steps and how many stairs you've walked up, and it's got the heart rate monitor, which my Fitbit's lacking at the moment. That'd be really nice to be able to actually track your heart rate whilst you're exercising, because just steps isn't often enough, really, to get a good reading of what you're actually doing with exercise.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so it's good for that. It's going to be good for people constantly getting their phone out and looking at it. Yeah.
I was just seeing if anybody was tweeting about it, that's all. Sorry.
Yeah. But at the moment, you always have people getting their phone out, whereas this might just be a quick glance at the watch and be enough. More likely that everyone's going to be like, no, okay, I need to get my phone out now. But yeah, so that was quite an exciting announcement. And at the same time, they announced their new MacBook as well. And that's been like quite popular amongst the students. A lot of them coming in saying, you're going to get the new MacBook, sir, because they always see me on mine every day. A lot of them are talking about the new, because it's got the single port on it now, the USB-C, which actually I hadn't even heard of it, to be honest, before. So I looked it up a little bit earlier on, and it's just like a smaller, slimmer, and faster USB support, basically.
Okay.
Then Google also announced this week a new Chromebook Pixel, and I don't know if you know the Chromebook Pixel. It's like the ultimate Chromebook, really. Yeah. It's like the best one, and it's the one I've always wanted, but couldn't justify buying.
Do they know how much?
I haven't seen the pricing, but I expect around, I think it's like $1,000, so whatever that ends up converting into. But I always wanted the original Chrome Pixel, even though it wasn't the fastest or the best performance. It's just a statement, really, isn't it?
Why is this the ultimate Chromebook, though?
I think it's the only one that's made by Google. So all the other ones are made by third-party manufacturers and partners and stuff. So this is like the official one, and it's just like collectible version of the Chromebook, really. But interestingly, having not heard of USB-C, it's now on the Chromebook Pixel as well. So that's creeped into 2 new devices in 1 week. So that's quite interesting.
Some interesting announcement from the BBC. Was that today?
Yeah, this morning. So I saw it this morning. Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone else has heard that announcement. But the BBC are going to give all secondary age children, I'm not sure if it's those students that are starting secondary next year, but all a microcomputer, so almost like an even stripped back version of a Raspberry Pi, is it?
Yeah, basically very similar to a Raspberry Pi, I think. Saw a little video on BBC News website this morning about it, and just looked good. You can use stuff like Scratch and Blockly and those sort of things to do like some sort of programming with it. And they're very focused on their like games development and stuff like that. They've done that, like that Doctor Who. You've seen that? Like Doctor Who type thing, and they're using that, I think, with the with this new computer that they've produced. So that'd be really interesting. The BBC are very focused on technology and education at the moment. I think that little computer is actually like partnered up with people like Code Club and Google and other big companies are all backing it as well. I don't think it's just the BBC, but BBC obviously leading the way with it.
Oh, good. Oh, so that's just exciting. So it'd be good to see what people think about that. Anything else been happening this week?
Don't know, like big boring news, I guess, is there's been a lot of announcements along the line of, we all knew it was coming, but like Server 2003 has finally got like a date in, I think it's the 14th of July, is the final date for support from Microsoft. So there's still a lot of schools out there that are running old Microsoft servers, and they need to sort out doing something about that, really. I wrote a blog post only last week, actually, after going to an RM conference about trying to develop a serverless school and just trying to go down that route. And I think it's like quite apt that at this moment where everyone's talking about what do we do with these old servers, and perhaps now's the time to look at what to do next instead of just carrying on with the same traditional route you've always gone. It might be a time to start thinking about what we can do to go serverless. Lots of schools, not lots, a few schools have done it already.
Do you know what schools they are?
No, I don't know any. No, I don't think I know any actual schools that have done it, but I've been to talks where they always say this school has done it already and it's working very well. I think printing always comes down to like a big issue is you can take all of this stuff off site, but often you still need to print. So Google Cloud Print does allow you to print to the cloud, and it can go back through if you've got the right printers. Or if you have to run like a server in the school to be a print server, so you've gone away from serverless, but definitely reducing servers anyway. So
there might be somebody, if you're watching this and you have a serverless school, then you
definitely be interested in that.
Interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, if you look on my blog on benforte.co.uk, you can see there's a blog post recently that's about the serverless schools, and I've tried to think of like every element, like say like printing, your domain controller, your MIS system, your finance system. I tried to like think of all of the things that schools have, and then try and work out a way of putting them in the cloud, basically. But I'm sure there's something I've missed. There's probably lots of schools out there with systems that are different to other schools, but I tried to think of everything that we've got in this school and I've seen in other schools. So hopefully we'll cover most of the parts. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear anyone else's feedback on serverless schools and whether you think it's actually a good idea or not, really.
Okay, good. So we're probably going to move on because we've nearly finished our fish and chips. But thank you for tuning in for Catch of the Day. We're probably going to come back next week and have a chat about what's happening in the world of education technology and other things perhaps. And we'll let you know what the Catch of the Day is next week. So thanks for tuning in, and goodbye and have a good weekend.
Cheers. Goodbye.